Let's say you want to be a Pokemon master in medieval times. You're making some noob cry by destroying him with your salamence while the tavern wench gets you a pint of beer while standing on the corpses of the rivaling guild you just slaughtered. You can do it in Minecraft. Let's say you want the powers of Goku, including the ability to breathe in space, to fly to other planets, except everything you kill drops items that you can combine together to give you even more superpowers, eventually transforming yourself into a demigod who then fights the entire galactic civilization from the Star Wars universe. You can do it in Minecraft. Let's say there's a nifty little mod that caches chunks that get loaded, which means that nothing gets unloaded ever, to the point where you can set your render distance to 1000 and realistically get that radius, so long as you actually fly over every bit of terrain, and pair that mod with Replay mod, which saves all data loaded and allows you to take insane sized cinematics that blow all the previous records and limitations away. You can do it in Minecraft. Right? Minecraft's aesthetic and early game addictability leave no questions as to why it went viral in 2011, but Minecraft's infinite variability being laid open to the player base might be one of the biggest reasons it's stuck around for so long. As far as I can tell, CurseForge is the main place for the posting of Minecraft mods, and there's almost 120,000 posted. And not everything is posted on CurseForge, so there's way more. Pretty much infinite possibilities for different game experiences, and that's just considering trying each one by one. The amazing thing about Minecraft is that these mods can be combined. That's where the infinite variability and allure comes in. But that's the thing. 6 years ago, Minecraft modding was so robust you could do these crazy combinations I just talked about, and they would probably work. Now, if you're even trying to combine normal mods that just add overlays and improve performance together, they're probably not going to work. And as usual, it comes from a smaller group of people insisting that the massive change to the way Minecraft is modded is being done for our own good. Don't get me wrong, even the current state of Minecraft modding is a far cry from what we started out with. Remember going into the game's files and replacing the meta-inf folder? Or am I just dating myself? It used to be really hard and almost not worth bothering. Then Forge came out, but it was still really hard to install and get working. And then it became easy, which is when the modding community for Minecraft exploded. Forge was an incredible tool and could double as its own Minecraft launcher. My bread and butter was using Multi-MC, revolutionary technology at the time, its own custom launcher that can do things like install Forge with the click of a single button. Then you stuff in as many mods as you want, rather than the vanilla launcher, which, once it finally had its own mods folder and could work with Forge, would require you to manually remove mod packs from that folder and put others in if you weren't cleared on how to create your own directory. Forge ran Multi-MC instances, cleared all this obnoxious confusion up easily. Now, Forge was a double-edged sword. Forge is a heavyweight loader. It has layers and layers of helpers and interoperability API that allows mods being built in Forge to change Minecraft on a deeper level, and for most of those mods to be capable of running together on the same instance in order to experience multiple modded effects to the game at the same time. I was a Scrooge on this for a long time. Minecraft is such a perfect and elegant game, and when first joining when modding was starting to pick up speed in 2013, I'd see these stupid mods like Elemental Wolves, where they'd make 12 wolves, each a different color, with them dropping some ridiculous item like a bucket of lava for the red wolf, ruining the balance of the game. It's like a toddler pouring Heinz ketchup on filet mignon. I didn't want any part of that, but I was being closed-minded. Just because this was going on didn't mean that there weren't Minecraft Gordon Ramsays out there doing incredible work. Terra 1-1 may have happened in 2020, but it's a great example of utilizing Minecraft's insane size to create something amazing through the power of Minecraft modding. The entire Earth and its topography in a Minecraft world to explore. But this golden age of modding wouldn't last, as the downsides of Forge that had annoyed developers for years finally took a toll in 2018 when Forge took forever to update to 1.14. The Minecraft Fabric loader was released. Now, what is Fabric? It's a mod loader with a much lighter codebase so that little of any updating of mods have to be done for each successive version. Forge has internals that the mod maker has to be familiar with in order to make their mod Forge compatible, whereas there's almost no consideration like that with Fabric being Java-based. It's way easier to write mods for Fabric, and the game launches much faster. For this reason, Fabric has been gaining popularity ever since its release in 2018 and has really picked up since 2020, and it now might be considered the prominent mod loader for Minecraft. So what the f is the problem? Why am I being such a drama queen about this with the title? There's two reasons. They're really big reasons. The first one boils down to incompatibility. Minecraft has a 10-year history of modding almost exclusively with Forge, and lots of those programmers, many who have produced the best mods and most time-consuming, insane-sized mods in Minecraft, are no longer active. Most Forge mods are not ported to Fabric, and they never will be, which means now, if you have a combination of mods you would like to put together for a certain playing experience or to achieve a particular unique effect, if any one of the mods are not on the same mod loader, you're just screwed. And since Fabric basically took over, the chances that you're going to want to use a modern mod set with something very useful that you remember from years ago means you're going to run into this problem. 100,000 plus mods for Forge and only thousands of mods for Fabric, but I can assure you that with the necessity of modern mods combined with the fact that they're all on Fabric makes incompatibility the default. Now, there was something in the works to fix this. Something that can make Forge and Fabric mods work together, Patchwork. After researching the breadcrumb trail on the project, it seems to have been moved to Quilt, a version of Fabric with more features that is yet to come out. When I asked them if Patchwork was going to be included, they said not likely, as for some reason, to them, being able to run Forge and Fabric mods in the same instance just wasn't important. Seems to me to be one of the most important problems in the mod making community right now, but they just kept minimizing it. But here's the thing, if Fabric is in fact better in every way, it's an understandable temporary loss because while not everything from Forge is ported to Fabric yet, most of everything important eventually will be, if not by the original mod creator, then by someone else instead. So while I wouldn't recommend at this point in Minecraft's history a temporary ding that makes modded Minecraft so much trouble, we should accept developers' arguments that Fabric is better, Fabric is the future, and the future is bright because of it, right? Fabric has a fatal flaw. Forge's extreme internal robustness is only possible due to its many interoperability layers and helpers that make any mod very likely to be compatible with another. Fabric disregarded Forge's greatest strength for Fabric's lightness, which means if you have a mod set that you're trying to get to work in Minecraft where everything is Fabric, it's still likely to crash, requiring tons of time troubleshooting with people online, hours, days, weeks, and even then, a solution to getting all the mods you're playing to work in tandem is not guaranteed. So, in short, Forge mods are completely incompatible with Fabric, and most Fabric mods aren't even compatible with each other. The glorious congruent nature of mods that we had in the Minecraft community, that glorious golden age where you could load up a mod list in Forge knowing that it had an 80 to 90% chance of launching, we traded that for a mod list where it has an 80% chance of not working. And here's how this could be the death of Minecraft, at least for Java. In the project Build the Earth, we've been running a 1.12.2 Forge mod pack to run the project for years now. This pack is very robust, works upon first installation the vast majority of the time, and then for people who had an issue, 95% plus of them managed to get that issue resolved pretty quickly. But the very fact that we even require this mod pack to play creates a filter where most people who were interested enough to launch Minecraft now won't even bother. To solve this, we made our server, buildtheearth.net, that requires no mods at all to join. But just imagine that filtering effect now for modded Minecraft in Fabric today. We've seen how many users are lost right out of the gate when they're asked to even download a mod pack. It's why most Minecraft players, even in the glory days, had never used mods, even given how easy it was, to the point where you barely had to think about it. But now, when any mod combination you're likely to attempt for Fabric is going to give you an 80% likelihood of failure to launch, which brings you to Discord looking for help, in which your issue might be resolved in 2 minutes, or it might not even be resolved after 2 weeks. Let me just run you guys by a typical day for me. I'm on the prowl. I'm on the hunt, hunting for interesting things in Minecraft to show you guys. That's my job. So naturally, when I find something, very often there's going to be some sort of mod pack required for it. And even if not, it will likely be in a more modern version of Minecraft that I haven't set up in an instance for. In order to set up an instance that can do all the best cinematic shots to capture whatever magical thing in Minecraft that I've found, I'll need a certain mod list, whatever that new mod list is for the day. Ever since I had to switch to Fabric for most modern Minecraft packs and projects, I know that when I try to launch it, it's not gonna work, and I have to go into Discord support channels and will be there for at least hours trying to resolve the issue. And I don't know, it might just be the developer community pushing this, a community that I've become much closer to from working on videos for my channel. But it seems to me that all vital and extremely important mods are working on Fabric now, and thus won't be able to give you the huge edge that they give if your pack is in Forge. That mod that I mentioned at the beginning of this video, where it caches chunks so that there's no limit to how much terrain you can load, making it perfect for getting the largest cinematic shots of maps possible with Replay mod, that mod was called Bobby, and it's Fabric exclusive. If you're going to want epic combinations of mods that work together, whether that's for utility or adventure, you might as well just live with Forge, and in the past, as the developers say. I recently had to put together a mod pack, and it ended up being Forge to my relief. But weirdly enough, it was one of those times where it crashed on launch. It was having some sort of problem with Optifine. So I march over to the Discord to get some help, and you know what they say? Forge and Optifine suck. Here's your Fabric alternative. So I use all the Fabric alternatives for this mod pack, and it still crashes, and it takes us an additional 2 days of back and forth to get it working, with what was really likely a simple and easy fix on the original Forge pack. And this wasn't the first time this had happened to me. This was the straw that broke the camel's back. I went into the Fabric community to ask them if there were any long-term plans to alleviate the higher rate of mod incompatibility with Fabric. I got completely pounced on. They insisted that that's not the case at all, even if later they admitted that it was, but rather repositioned their argument to be that Fabric using mixins to directly flow with Minecraft code doesn't create more incompatibilities if the mod makers use them correctly. Hey everyone, Future Pippen here. Before we get into the Discord situation, which became really toxic, there needs to be an update. About Discord toxicity, I don't lay this at the feet of Discord. This is just a bad turn that we're taking in general. We need to learn the art of civil disagreement again. If we continue to normalize a collective, vindictive, emotional reaction towards any individual who has thoughts that challenge said group, we would be eradicating the practice of original thoughts altogether. Because eventually, you'll be the person who has the thoughts that challenge the group. And then you'll have to make the choice between your own original thoughts or saving your social status or social relationships. If we encourage the toxic reaction and encourage choosing our social relationships every time, then we have no ability to share our own original thoughts anymore. Who are we then, if every challenge posed to what we think is discouraged out of existence? Certain people in this Discord straight up lied about my experience despite being very specific, saying that I probably had to install one mod pack, it didn't work instantly, and that made me mad, so now I'm making this video. This is not the case. I've been doing 0 to 2 new mod pack setups per month for the last 2 years. In my experience, Fabric has had a significantly higher crash rate than Forge, which is the initial experience that inspired my research on this. Now, I am not your mustache-twirling enemy. I'm not trying to go to war with Fabric. I'm not trying to destroy it. I want Fabric to improve, and since my more hostile initial encounter in the Discord, there has since been a developer who actually answered my questions. Interoperability for Fabric is being worked on, both externally and internally, which means in the future we may possibly get what we want, a more friendly Fabric experience. But in the meantime, for a lot of your modding adventures, I would suggest using Forge, because I reject people's claim that Fabric alternatives are always superior. Not in my experience, and not yet. Now we'll resume the rest of this original cut of opinion piece, which may have been written in slightly harsher tones than I would have preferred. Apologies for that, and back to the video. So, these people in the Fabric community first denied that it's even happening, and then later said that if it is happening, it's only because mod makers are not using mixins correctly. Well, what do you expect when you have a system that directly interacts with Minecraft code and you have thousands of mod makers, most of whom aren't talking to each other when developing? Even if they're all really good mod makers, you're gonna run into incompatibilities all the time, as opposed to Forge, which has an interoperability network intrinsic to its API before it interacts with Minecraft, which produces less crashes. I don't know a programming language. I've never made a Minecraft mod, but I've been working with Forge mod packs for almost 10 years, and Fabric mod packs for almost 2 years. I've spent at least 2 or 3 times more hours in support channels troubleshooting Fabric mod packs in the 2 years than I've spent getting help for Forge mod packs for the previous 10 years before that. You would hope that the Fabric community would listen to an extensive user report like that, as well as what every writer and developer from every source outside of the Fabric community that I managed to check had to say about Fabric's lower rate of compatibility, rather than just outright denying it, then later saying that if that was happening, it's the mod maker's fault, not Fabric for not creating an internal consistency system that takes the compatibility across all mods off the mod maker's plate, like Forge did. Now, it's possible that the group of users active at the time I came in to ask them were not representative of the larger Fabric community, that most of them do address these issues rather than insist that they're not happening and remain oblivious to the increased strain in users' burdens to continually fix and deal with crash reports while continually preaching that Fabric is the future and it has no weaknesses or problems. And I'd love to believe that. But playing Minecraft with mods, it just doesn't work anymore. I am a psycho. I'll end up grinding some Minecraft project or anything, tens, even hundreds of hours if I think it's worthwhile. If a freak like me is frustrated enough with the continual tampering that it takes to get Fabric to work, what makes you think that the average Minecraft user would put up with that? I understand the perspective from a tech-savvy person. They're in these channels helping people with problems all the time. They're intelligent, persistent, and patient, and very familiar with its inner workings. But most Minecraft players won't even know how to find help, let alone have the persistence to spend hours trying to fix it with someone willing to walk them through it. By making modded Minecraft contingent upon a system that requires such constant troubleshooting to get to work, we're making a serious threat to Java's Minecraft user retention. The enjoyment that Forge once provided people is going to be replaced by the frustration with Fabric. People eventually might just stop bothering. Another thing these Fabric people said to me was perhaps I was one of those people who was trying to use 100+ mods in the pack, as they laughed at that user case. I corrected them. The most recent mod pack I was trying to get to work was 4 or 5 mods. But what if it was 100? The fact that Forge can handle that is amazing. If you browse on CurseForge, you'll end up seeing that some of the most downloaded mods are actually mod packs ranging from 20 to 100+ mods for an insane gaming experience. A good example of this is one called Dungeons, Dragons, and Space Shuttles. It has over 300 mods that run simultaneously on Forge. It's been downloaded 2.4 million times. You can laugh at the people trying to run over 100 mods, but that was the privilege that the heavy and cumbersome Forge paid for. We got to experience a game so modified that it almost became something else, a different game entirely. The number of downloads on these huge crazy mod packs seemed to support the allure and possibilities Forge afforded us, and I don't think we should disregard or abandon those advantages lightly. If we do, we take the risk of shooting the Minecraft community in the foot and opening the larger community up more to the most dangerous emotion to the game's supporters right now: weariness. A huge thanks to our top supporters: Ji Yang, Megan Leckie, Chase Plays, Official MCBTC, Paul Amstone, Pixie Gum, and the Demon Slayer. I'm never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down. I'm never gonna run around or desert you.